Okay, good afternoon, guys. How is everyone? Hope everyone is well. It's the 4th of April 2023, and I'm trading the S&P 500 futures market. This is the 2000 tick chart, just in case none of you know. I think most of you know. I think the majority of you trade the same as me. So it is Tuesday. It's beautiful here in the UK. I'm upstairs in one of the spare rooms, and we've got a blazing sunshine coming through the window, and it's absolutely stunning. So, hey Sam, how you doing? So market so far, we opened here, we're a little bit sideways, push up, push down, and that's it really. So, first impressions seems to start off sort of ranging. So, we've also got some news coming up in a little over 35 minutes. So I put that on there. I got a habit of forgetting, so if that's there glaring me in the face, hopefully I should be okay. So who else we got in? Morning Richard, how you doing? What? How you doing, buddy? Speedy, how you doing? So yeah, as I predicted, we had a new 80% off starting today, which is what I've said many times before. I don't know why they don't just do 80%, because they have 80% on more than they don't have 80% on. So same system, I believe it's on for about 2 weeks, but it's 80% off evaluations and 80% off reoccurring months should you take longer than a month to pass an evaluation. You know the story by now. So my code is there if you choose to use it. If you do or you have done, it's much appreciated. So what else we got in? Groll Daddy, how you doing? Sam, what is the subscriber button sound? Is there a sound, is there? Okay, hold on a minute, because there's no sound. Let me have a look. I think it's that one. Let me just see if I can get rid of the sound. Otherwise, I'll just kill it for now. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. Sound. There shouldn't be a sound. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's just kill it for now. Has the sound gone off? I've actually, whether it kills the picture and the sound, I'll have to look into that. Just let me know if it's gone off. Has it gone off? Has it gone off? Has it gone off? Off. I think it has, otherwise I'll just delete it for now. I'll tell you what, let's just bin it for now. That makes it easy, doesn't it? There you go, problem solved. Okay, who else we got in? Ionis, how you doing? Hey Angela, how are you? Where is he? Is he further down there? I can see him down there. He's further down there. Not impressed with the new Apex withdrawal rules. I've not heard any. That doesn't sound too good. Oh dear. When I thought it was too good to be true. Now you've stressed me out. Your subscribe button is going crazy looping. I've just deleted it, mate, so it should have got rid of it. How you doing, Nick? Really concerning. Oh God, I wish you wouldn't have told me that, mate. I really don't. You've ruined my day now. I'll have to look into that. Hey Sam, it's gone excellent, Nick. Yeah, both sound and image gone fantastic. DJ, how you doing, bud? Oh, I forgot you then. The railway sound is off now. That's good. Leader loser, how you doing? Roger, good morning. Excellent, thank you. Hope you're well. Yes, I am. Well, I was until Sam mentioned about the new payout rules. Why do they do it? They set out these fantastic rules. Everything was great. And I just had that feeling in the back of my head, it's too good to be true. So I don't know the deal to it. Can't withdraw below it. Right, so what you're saying is when you withdraw rule, you still have to have 2.6 in it. I hope not. So you've got, just give me a bit more detail there, bud. Can't withdraw below there. So, okay, so if you've got $2,700, can you still withdraw, or you have to have $2,600 before you withdraw? Oh, I hope that's not true. I did wonder, because I think a lot of people might be hitting the 2,600 withdrawing and blown an account. Oh, please tell me that's not so. Please tell me that's not so. Do you know when I heard about that rule that you could withdraw? Which one, mate? It's got to be. So you get 1,000 payout. Oh, you are kidding me. Bloody hell. Oh, that's depressing. That's depressing. That's going to pee people off, that is. You have to have 3,600, and you can only. So, in other words, after you've made a withdrawal, you need a minimum of 2,600. Oh, God. People aren't going to be happy about that, are they? That's frustrating. Right, I got you. Oh, my God, that is frustrating. I didn't know anything about that. I've had no email or nothing. That's going to pee a few people off. Especially if you were just around about that figure now and you're expecting to make a withdrawal. Oh, dear. Oh, that's annoying. That is annoying. Yeah, they are a seam, yeah. Like Apex are having money troubles with the amount of 8% off sales. I don't necessarily think it's that bad. What I think it is they sell way more evaluations when the offer's there. That's annoying. It came out today, being implemented. Oh, in May. Okay. Gives me a chance to get something. Okay. Price the rules would stand. Yeah, well, someone mentioned it comes out in May, so that's a bit annoying. I've got to say, when I found out they want you to trade max contracts and blow it, it's frustrating, isn't it? Just when you think things can't get any worse, more profit targets hit, more chances to blow it. Yeah, that's on the downside. On the upside, if you do withdraw at 2,600 and it is above that, you're less likely to blow it. Well, perhaps there'll be a few people moaning in the Facebook groups and maybe they may change it. I don't know. I'm going to go in there and have a moan. Hopefully other people will see what they say. Yeah, it is frustrating, isn't it? To be honest with you, when I found out that you could withdraw when you had 2,600, I was sort of quite surprised. Yeah. Damn you, Dal, yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to have a moan in there later. In fact, I might just say I'm going to move on and try another prop firm. I won't, but if enough people moan and whinge, maybe they'll do something, I don't know. Or at least make it a little bit. That video has plenty of bad comments. Yeah, I bet it does. I'm going to add to it my own. I mean, we are officially open anyway, so yeah, that's frustrating, isn't it? I suppose on the one, if we've got to try and find a positive to it, if you've got 5,600 and you withdraw 2,000, at least you're less likely to blow your account. Now, my plan was to get to 2.6 or above 2.6 and withdraw. Now, that's going to take my account down to $600. Now, the chance of blowing that is quite a bit higher, and then you sort of go through it all again. So, yeah, it's frustrating, but I think if you I don't know what's the word. If you're doing okay and you're building, I don't think it's going to affect you. But I think if you're just trying to make a few quid, I think they're the ones that are going to struggle a little bit. You have to make $3,000 off an eval, then 3.6 off a PA to withdraw $1,000. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's quite a big change, isn't it? I mean, usually Apex have got a habit of reducing the rules, not adding to them. So, yeah, it is frustrating, basically. Yeah, you're right, Nick. Oh dear. Oh well. Maybe if enough people have a moan about it, maybe they might do something about it. You never know. I mean, they're usually pretty good, Apex, but I don't know. Maybe they realise they've cornered the market and they're, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it is a bit. But I suppose at least they're not doing it till May, so maybe you can get an order in. I don't know. Trouble is, no, doesn't matter. What's a good alternative? To be honest with you, mate, I've been with Apex now for about 12, 14 months, so I don't really know. I hear people on about that Bollocks, but I don't know too much about it. I mean, in all fairness, even with that new rule, I still think Apex probably beats everyone else because I think everyone else has that rule. I would say, I don't know for certain, but I would have said so. So it's just going to be, I don't know. Give the news time to sink in. Selling a kidney to self. You can probably do it in the US. You can't. You can't over here. No, it's a shame you can't sell your body after you die, isn't it? Well, but get it on credit so you can get the money early, and then let them. I don't care what they do to me when I'm gone. I wonder if there's anywhere that does that gives you like 20,000 and then can chop you up and do what they want with you after you're gone. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, it is a bit frustrating because Apex, as I said, have got a habit of just reducing rules, not adding to them. But I think what a lot of people are doing, they're hitting the 2,600. They're making a withdrawal, blowing that. Because what you can do is within a month, you could pass an evaluation, hit 2,600 and make a withdrawal and blow your account. So you could take quite a bit of money off them. Yeah, I think most, yeah, you're right, but I think most have that rule. So I don't think it's, in my opinion, I think Apex have looked into this carefully. And I don't think they've made a quick decision about it. I think they know they're still better than the competition. But even so, maybe a few people may move. I don't know. I think they'll still save money though. Never mind. We'll see. It's 1,000. The new max withdrawal. Still two. If you get to 5,600, you can take $2,000. Sorry, if you get to you get to 4.6, you can take $2,000, can't you? Oh, sorry, you were asking is. On the $50,000, it's 2,000. So if you got to 4,600, I suppose on the upside, if you got to 4,600 and you withdrew, you've still got 2,600 in there, so you're not going to blow your account, hopefully. So I suppose it'll save people blowing less accounts, I think, maybe, because people will withdraw, blow the last $600 and do it again. So I don't know. It may turn into be a better thing in the long run. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. So what's going on today, guys? What do you reckon? We've got the short-term trend line. We've had a break. Let's see if anything comes off this. Fits nice in there. Oh well. Yeah, most do seem to have that rule, but so yeah, it's a bit frustrating. It just means you've got to trade for another week or two, doesn't it? Week and a half, something like that. So it's still 10 days then, isn't it? So at least you pretty much know you're going to have traded for 10 days. No, I didn't know that rule. That's frustrating. Did anybody get emails about it? I didn't get an email. Oh, hold on a minute. No, I haven't had the email. I turned. Yeah. Oh, well. It's frustrating. There's no two ways. I didn't know anything about that. I must live in a bubble. Okay. Trend channel break. Likely making new highs between 4173. I don't know what we're doing at the moment. Push up, push down. I mean, you would have thought after this it would at least come down to hit the open or maybe the lows. I don't know. Maybe it will. Okay, there's a first break. There's no other entry there. Okay, there's our first break. Just wondering if that looks like sort of two legs. It sort of does, really, doesn't it? It's all that. One leg, two legs. See if we can get a lower high. That looks like one leg break, new high. See if we can get a lower high or something. Looks like people are short on that. It's a bit risky that because it's just a first entry really, although it does look like, you know, we've had a little push-up break, new high, big bearish bar. Still a bit risky in my opinion, but it looks like you'd have got 2 points out of it. But market is moving quite nice. It's quite clear at the moment, so... Yeah, it does look like really. I mean, you could, I mean, you could do that it fits there, but it also fits there. That there's like one leg, a little bit of, because there's a doji there right in the middle, so it does look like a couple of legs. And then this, but it's not a second entry really. I mean, you could have said it was something, I don't know. You'd expect that to come down after this, wouldn't you? But it's just, I don't know. It's a first entry, so it doesn't really follow the rules, does it? It doesn't even bend the rules really. On the long-term picture, it's not a terrible rule. Just frustrating when you apply. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yes, I mean, if you get to 2,600, as I mentioned earlier, and you withdraw $2,000, you got 600 left really. So trading two contracts, you can't even lose two trades. There's a lot of pressure there. So I think a lot more people are going to blow the accounts if they withdraw. So if you're planning on getting these accounts up long term and build to them, I don't think it's a terrible thing. But yeah, as I say, it's just frustrating when you short-term plans, maybe just to bring a bit of money in. Perhaps Daryl watched my stream when I mentioned what I was going to do, and he thought I ain't having that. Okay, that's a shame, really, because it really came down that. That was risky, just taking that. It was a first entry. Some may have taken that. That's the type of trade you take on a sim account. Shit, it's on board. He has started making videos again, hasn't he? I wonder why he stopped. I know there was that issue in Mac, so the thing is, other people have learned from Mac and done their own thing, haven't they? I think Top Pick Trading do it. Who else? There's bound to be some others. So I don't know why it seemed to be specific with Michael Chin. But I suppose Mac learnt from Al Brooks, didn't he? And then Mac started himself. So it's the nature of the beast, isn't it? You tend to learn and then you move on and teach. Well, some do. It's just that would be a headache for me because I like the fact of working for yourself that you set your own rules. You're not governed by, you have to do something. So if you started a Discord and you started charging people, you've got to do it. You can't just say, I don't want to do it this week or I'm going on holiday. You've got to do it. And that would be the downer for me. I like the fact that I can take a week off if I want one, or I can not trade in a day if I want to. If you've got paying customers, you've got to keep them happy. So, okay, so we've had this short-term trend channel and we've had a break. It hasn't hit the new lows. So, but that has played out. Channel break, new low. Let's see. What have I missed? It's my fault. Perhaps you heard my cunning plan. Issue with Michael Chin is that he repackaged Mac's PDF book. Ah, gotcha. And sold it as his own. Oh, well, that's fair enough then, isn't it? I still don't know why he didn't keep doing his YouTube channel, because in 500,000 views, I think you can earn, a bit of decent money out of that. You've got to have a lot of views, but I think you can earn money from YouTube. So I don't know why he stopped. Surely he would have kept on trading. I don't know. Someone did mention a cease and assist order. I don't quite know what that means. It's different in the US, isn't it? Perhaps you've got to cease what you're doing while it goes to court, if it went to court. Not so sure. Whereas other YouTubers mainly just make their own material based on Max. Yeah. It's only natural people are going to do that, isn't it? Well, some people anyway. I think the Panda guys seem to have... He's got his own system, I think, isn't he? I think he learned from a bit of Al Brooks and some of Max, and he's sort of come up with his own system. And What's It has as well, the Penguins guy, he's sort of... he's certainly more effective than the Panda guy, that's for certain. He's certainly a better trader. Well, on paper, it looks like he does really well. And I would guess he does. Okay, so we've had this channel, we've had a break new low, and it's bounced off these lows. Interesting. Now, if you took a trade off here, it'd be a risky one. If it worked, you'd possibly get up here. So would you take a trade off here? Should the trend channel break new low? I mean, bounce. It would be risky. I've been caught out so many times here. Stats join November the 1st. Who's that, Nick? You mean join November the who joined November the November the 1st, 2011? Was that you're about Michael Chin? Right, I'm so tempted to take this. I'm going to take a slight risk because it's bouncing beautifully off there.
Order submitted.
I think that's worth it personally, because it's bouncing off there and it's sat exactly where the rest are. Now, it is a risk. It is a second entry long, but I think it's worth the risk because I think people are going to be buying off here. So I'm prepared to take the risk. It's a 2.5 points, I think. I love that it's sitting on there and that's sitting on there, and so are these. I don't usually pick bottoms, but as far as I'm concerned, that's about as bottom as you can get. So I'm quite happy to get this to the EMA, see what happens. That one obviously would be risky, but this one, look where it's sitting beautifully. I'm not going to be too greedy here. It could come right back up, you just don't know, do you? So, but sometimes you've got to take an educated, what's the word I'm looking for? Not an educated risk. A something. I can't think. It'll come to me. That's played out and that's played out. So I'm prepared to risk the 2.5 points. It's not a huge risk. But I've accepted the risk. I like where it is. Now, where are we going to go to? You're in there as well. I think if you're going to take it off the bottom, it's sitting beautifully. I don't think there's an argument there. Now, if the shorts are really strong, it may come down, but I think it's worth the risk. It's an educated it's a calculated risk, but just look at the way it's sitting beautifully on there. So is that. So are those. So are those. As far as I'm concerned, it's a no-brainer. That's played out. That's played out. Certainly back to the EMA anyway. I don't even mind that it's coming back a bit red. That's fine. Target's 4153. Yeah, if it can get to here, I'll drop my stop in here somewhere. I don't mind getting a couple of points out of here. You got 10 accounts, 2 points to go. It's $2,000, isn't it? If we can have a quick push, and I'll drop in for a couple of points. It is stalling a little bit sideways. So one leg, maybe we can get another leg up. I've got no arguments with the signal bar. Nice and bullish, sat right in that bottom line, no issues there. See if we can get up to here, test these. There's a little bit of a break, which is okay. I'm all right with that. I don't mind a little bit of a pullback. Finished on its high. I like that. I like that. It has touched the EMA, but I'm okay with that. Let's see how this finishes. Let's drop that there, just to give us some protection. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more out of this. If it closes above there, okay, I like that. Happy to leave that there. I'm going to give that a bit more space. In fact, I'm going to give it the higher low space. So I'm hardly risking anything there because it's broken above it. I'm only risking a half a point now. I'm taking the high low. See how this finishes. Okay, see if we can get a bit more out of it. Guaranteed myself a point, but I think there's a bit more in it. They've both closed above the EMA. I like that. 0 days. I'll look at that in a minute again. This will tell us whether the market's bearish or more ranging now, whether this will carry on up. We'll see. Come on, get up. Okay, stalling a bit here, so
stop
I'm going to
filled.
secure myself. There you go, 2.25 points. It might go up a bit more, but it's going a little bit sideways there. And you just don't know whether this is going to... you just don't know, do you? So, 2.25 points out. Everything worked fine there, so I'm okay there. I'm going to have a chat with some of you guys in a minute because I want to get rid of that. You see those pink things that flick up? Trouble is, if you've got anything showing here, those pink things cover them, and that's what frustrates me a little bit. So you'll have to let me know how, you know, those little those order things that pop up here. They can get in the way a bit there. So okay, so we got 2.25 points. I'm okay with that. It went up. It's a little bit sideways there, so it may come down a bit more and go up, but I just think let's be safe, because if I had 10 accounts, I'd have put $2,250 in my account, and that's serious money, so I don't want to be too greedy, because I just don't know what's going to happen here. So, excuse me. Oh, it's already there. So 2.25 points. I think it was a lovely place to take it. So plus 2.25 points. Happy days. Yeah, it might have one leg and another leg, but the way just it came down here. See, once my balance gets a little bit higher and comfortable, then what I might do is just put my stop below there, risking half a point, and then see if it'll go. Because if we're in a range day, after we've had a push up and a push down and a break, you would think it would push up, but we have got this news coming up in 6 minutes, so I am aware of that. So what I don't want to be doing is stuck in a trade if it starts going pop up and down. NQ looks stronger, does it? What did I read a minute ago? 0 days to request a withdrawal. I got you. So if they want to play that game, then we could just max out your contracts, get $5,500 in there, and trouble is they're going to get people doing that. If they're saying no max days to withdrawal, they can't say if you get $5,000 in one day that you can't have your money, because the answer will be, well, yeah, but you said I could. There's no restrictions, so in other words, I could pass it in a day. So you know, it swings both ways. You can't say, you know, we're now extending it. You have to have 2,600 in there after withdrawal, but there's no limit to how many days it can take you. So you can do it, you know, they can't say you can't do it in one day. So news in 5 minutes. Yeah, Angela, I've just remembered, so I've just mentioned it. That's why I put that great big thing on. I still forgot. I didn't know. I did just mention it, which is why I wasn't prepared to sit in there any longer. I got it right up to where I was comfortable with it. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's only realistically maybe a point lower than it went. So I'm happy with that. If it had gone up stronger, then happy days. But some days it works, some days it doesn't. But that's perfect. That is 2 days in a row. I've got to trade really early. How long we've been trading? 33 minutes. 30 minutes, say. So 2 days, 2 quick trades. So it's all good. So I am $170, $165 of passing this evaluation. So hopefully one more trade, preferably a green one, a winning one, and then that will go then for. No, you're okay. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'll tell you what I have forgot to put on there. Market open. So we ain't doing anything for a minute anyway, are we? It's the 30. Where are you? There we go. So it will be right at the top of there. Okay. Get rid of that now. Remove. Change that. Okay, that is the official. Excellent. Superb. Okay. Right, we got the official open last night, or yesterday, early tea time for you guys, isn't it? And the official open there. So that should be locked. Perfect. Okay, let's see what this news gives us then. How does tax work with Apex? Is it considered income tax? I'm also from the UK. Okay, mate. Now, I did a little bit of research on this. If you have a main job, yeah, and you have an income, and this is extra, you don't pay tax because it's classed as spread betting, which means it's a form of gambling. So if you have a main income and this is extra income, and the guy I heard said even he made about $20,000, and he was told he didn't have to pay tax because it wasn't his main job and it was classed as spread betting, so it was classed as gambling. Now, he also said if it was your main job and you earned £50,000 a year, there's no way that HMRC are going to let you, it's obviously down to an income yet. So if you're making a bit of money while you're learning or for whatever reason, no, you won't pay tax on it. But what I will also say is anybody I know that's learned to trade have had to put a lot of money in, whether it would be for a computer equipment, any type of software that you've had to buy, any evaluations that you've lost, whatever reason, they come under expenses. So you will be able to earn all that money back before you pay any tax. Now, I'm not a financial advisor or a tax guy, but I have had a small business a bunch of years ago. So if you've invested $10,000 into computer equipment, Ninja Trader, and a bunch of evaluations, you will get that $10,000 back before you pay any tax, and any income above and beyond that, you'll pay tax at the normal UK rate. So that is my understanding of it, bud. So there you go. Where's this news? Where are we? Less than a minute. Job numbers. Yeah, job numbers. So I'm assuming this tells you how many more people are in work or unemployed. Forecast is 10.4 million. I'm assuming that's new job openings or the previous. So the forecast is lower than the previous. So we'll see. We shall see. I'm a tax attorney. If you make money from... Oh, you've stopped there, mate. See, if you say you're a tax attorney, that leads me to believe that you're US. So it is. Well, we're talking about UK. Now, I'm on the understanding that if you make it as extra money on top of your main job, it's classed as spread betting, therefore not subject to HMRC tax. Betting is different to future trade. Well, he actually mentioned it's the, who's the guy? I think it's Spread Betting UK is their YouTube channel. But to be fair, this will go down my only job, and obviously what I've put into learning to trade will obviously is an expense, is a business overhead, so that'll get deducted from any tax. So what I'll basically do is get all my money back. Once I've got every penny back that I've put into trading, then I'm subject to, should it be my main job. That is my understanding as a UK taxpayer. So if you're an attorney, then you'll probably be, you're US, I think, but aren't you? Methinks. Okay, so we've had that news. I'd say slightly positive. Probably not a massive difference, but Apex isn't spread betting. No, but you trade. I know from UK point of view, you're trading futures, aren't you? Although you're doing it for a prop firm and they're paying you. So, I mean, from my point of view, when I make everything back that I put into it, then I will declare myself a taxpayer anyway. So Australia and US, yeah, I thought Australia actually would have been similar to the UK, but I mean, my plan is to ditch the UK for warmer climates should I make a decent amount of money on here, and I got Dubai in mind. That's my dream, and I know Dubai is tax free, so I ain't coming back. That's the plan. I don't know whether it'll ever happen. Maybe it will, but you got to have your dreams, haven't you? Got to have your dreams. I can just see myself working 3 hours a day. In fact, I don't even know whether you can trade with Apex in Dubai, can you? I don't even know. They don't accept every country, do they? I have a pal, a trader pal who moved to Dubai. He was from Norfolk in the UK. Your plan is not to pay taxes. Exactly. There's always ways, isn't there? So you don't know how it works because I get paid in dollars from another country, so I don't know. But there are places in the world that financial guys disappear to and don't pay much tax, do they? I mean, to be fair, all I've ever done is been ripped off and robbed by HMRC anyway. So my first opportunity is to get out of this country if I earn any decent enough money. So we'll see. Let's have a look. South Africa is on there. But are you kidding? So what do? Trade on a, what is it called? Private network? What do they call it? Something private network? Something like that, I think. Forget what it's called. And I believe you can get around it there, can't you? Or are you... I know you're from South Africa, what? But you still live there, bud, do you? Is it P2P? Peer-to-peer? Private network? I can't remember. Something like that. Yeah, I'd love to move abroad, I would. VPN, that's it. Virtual private network, yeah. Yeah, my plan is... I have a trader buddy that I've been speaking to over the last sort of, I don't know, 16, 18 months maybe. He was from Norfolk in the UK. That's east from the Midlands, for the middle of the UK, over right to the east. And he was an English teacher. Won't help. What I do is make money with a South Africa bank account. Okay. If you leave the UK and change countries every 3 to 4 months, you're probably tax free. Yeah, I think there's all ways around it, isn't there? I think half the politicians in the country. I know the What's-Its wife does the same. RPM's wife, Rishi Sunak. His wife's, I think she's changed her status, but she was classed as non-domiciled, so the £4 million income she was getting and living in the UK was she was avoiding tax. So, you know, even the Prime Minister's wife does it. You know, I mean, you're not breaking the law. It's just a legal loophole, isn't it? But there's always a way. But the beauty of it is anybody in the type of financial industry where you can run a business from a computer, you can more or less go anywhere you want in the world. I have US citizenship, so I'm bucketed no matter where I go. I think they hunt you down wherever you are in the world, don't they? Yeah, I heard someone say that's why they had the Navy SEALs for people who avoid paying tax. Yeah, I think no. We've all heard the saying, Uncle Sam will hunt you down for the rest of your days. Ooh, that is tempting. Very tempting. It's actually only a first entry, but it's tempting. But I'm going to leave it alone because it's a first entry. And I don't want to spoil my day, do I? Yeah, that's the reason why. Now, if we can bounce up here, short-term trend channel. Let's see if we can get a lower high. Let's get a... let's be careful here. Okay, possible short-term trend channel. Let's have a look here. It does seem to look bearish to me, doesn't it? Let me just get an order ready and see how this finishes. That could be, if it doesn't go any higher and finishes below there, on leg 2 leg. And it's going to, is it? Let me just check I'm not missing anything here. No. Come back to these conversations in a minute, they're interesting. Do you know, Angela, I don't even know whether I would self-fund. The thing I like about Apex is if, let's say, for instance, you've got 5 accounts and you trade 2 contracts on each account. So theoretically, you're trading 10 contracts. I don't know whether I'd rather trade that way than trade 10 contracts of my actual money. Having said that, as my skills and belief develop, I'm assuming at some point in time I'm going to get to the stage where I feel 100% confident in my ability. And it doesn't matter whether I'm trading on my own account or Apex's account. But I don't feel like that at the moment. So at some point, you know, with time, as we get better and better, you know, if you've been trading and make money every month for the next 12 months, you know you can trade. There's no argument there, is there? So maybe then, yeah, trading on my own account, it won't be a problem. But at the moment, I like, even if I've got multiple accounts, I've only got to trade 2 accounts, really, haven't I? The rest is just going in the background. You don't physically have those amounts in your head. Okay, I did look at that short-term trend channel break, and it had 2 pushes up and then a push down, but we didn't get a new low. So, yeah, I don't like this. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken a short there. Bar stacked right next to each other. Don't like that. Don't like how it's finished. You'd have got maybe a couple of points out of it. So look, 2. You'd have got a couple of points out of that, but I've been down here waiting at the bottom, and I got stitched there. So, and I wouldn't have took that one. Although it finished beautifully and bearish, it was only a first exit, and look what happened. It triggered you down for maybe 3/4 of a point, and then stitched you. You'd have got a point out of that, maybe less than a point. It's actually touching the bottom, so I doubt you'd have got a point there. So it was a tough area to trade there. So get rid of this now. So okay, and I don't want to make any stupid mistakes now because I'm 1 up, and if that's what I end for the day, happy days. So no. Yeah, I know if you're in the UK, I think if you're allowed to come in and spend 3 months before paying tax. I can't remember anyway, but quick story. I've probably said this before. There was a guy I got talking to who's from Norfolk in the UK, and he went over to Dubai, I think about 8 years ago. Him and his girlfriend, they were English teachers, and they got a contract for 12 months out there to teach English. And then they came back 12 months later. He learned to trade, and he told me he was earning around about 300,000 a year, and he was paying 140,000 of that tax. So they liked to buy that much. They went back over there, and he's been out there now for probably somewhere around about the 2 years. And I have a little natter with him maybe every 3 months, and he loves it out there. But yeah, 104. Apparently, he told me this, that it's about 30% cheaper to live there than it is in London. It's the 3rd safest place to live in the world. You've obviously got wall-to-wall sunshine. Things like their medical system out there. You've got to have a private medical insurance, which you do in the US, but you don't in the UK. But the medical is second to none out there. The dental is second to none out there. So it's win-win. He absolutely loves it, and he wouldn't come back. In fact, the only thing he did complain about was the weather, that it gets too hot at some point, but they just sort of stay in, everything's air conditioned. But all you need is a computer and internet connection. But that's what I'd love to do. If you ask me what my dream would be, that would be it. I think it's important to have dreams because it, inspires you. So that's my dream. Whether it'll come true, not because I don't believe I could make the money, because obviously it would have to be down to my wife and daughter, because I wouldn't want to drag them. That is a second entry short. I kind of like it, but it is a bit congested there, so it's tempting. It's 9 ticks. I'm going to leave it alone because it's congested, but it's tempting. Second entry short. We still haven't made a new low from here, so I would say that would probably at least break the new low. I like the look of it, but it's a bit congested for me, so I think that adds a little bit more risk, but I would expect that to break these lows. Yeah, the only reason I've left it is because it's just a little bit sideways. So what have I missed? Let's have a look. Freelance, you move to Dubai, you will be self-funding. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if you've got money and you've saved up a chunk of money anyway, I don't think it really matters, does it? Once you've got the confidence and belief in yourself. The thing is, don't worry about taxes, make some money first. Yeah, absolutely. Apex just changed. Oh, don't tell me that again. I've just blanked it out of my mind. I have to leave. Yeah. I don't think it's terrible. If it affects your plans a bit, it's a bit of a pain, but I don't think it's terrible. I think it's better. You're certainly less likely to blow an account because at least you know when you withdraw you still got $2,600 in there, which I don't think is a bad thing. Let's see if this gets stopped out. Yeah, it did. So I'm glad I didn't take that now. The alarm bells, I like what it was, but the alarm bells were it's congested. So what have we got now? Rocking and rolling on the gold. Never done anything. I'll do some cryptos. In fact, I bought another 20 Solana this morning. I'm just starting to hear lots and lots of good stuff about because the bank's failing and we're sort of slowly moving into a bull market. So I'm just topping up bits of crypto as well. I'm trying to get more strings to my bow, if that makes sense. They call it a safety cushion. Yeah. I call it bullshit. Excuse my language. But there you go. I know it's a bad thing. So when you leave a safety cushion, that is the benefit of it. That you won't blow an account. You still have a reasonable amount in there. But a lot of people who might be struggling, who might, struggle to get 10 days, they withdraw it and then blow it. The thing is, if you continue to do that, Apex wouldn't make any money out of you. So you can see why they may have changed this rule, because they're thinking, well, hold on a minute. If someone takes 10 evaluations, gambles 10 accounts, contracts on each and gets lucky, then all they got to do is trade for 10 days, maybe get a bit lucky, and they can withdraw the money, and it doesn't matter if they blow their account. So that might be their thinking. I don't know. So we have to leave the safety. Yeah. So look at the numbers on your live bar. Numbers on your live bar. What indicator is that? That one there is tells us the size of this bar that's forming now in ticks. That's the 2000 tick trade counter. So that'll start at 2000 and then go down to 0, and then we move to a new bar. And that number 10 is how many ticks are in the previous candle. So you don't necessarily need that. I tend to just take them anyway now. If I see a good setup, I'll just take it. But it is interesting just to know what that size is, because if it does happen to be rather large, you might want to maybe take a limit order or something. So yeah, that's what those are. So you can see this is counting down now. New bar form now. Yeah, 2000 again. So that's that. You can get residency in Dubai if you purchase property there. Well, you can actually rent. So you can go over there and you can rent. I've done quite a bit of research over there. Let me have a look. Very good trade on the gold. Good. Bill, if you say 5,000 a funded account and you blow the account, do they pay you? No, you don't. No, you lose it all, because if you blow it, you obviously blow that. So if you've got 5,000 there, if you blow the account, 5,000's gone, isn't it? Yeah, so no, it's gone, Bill. If you build up 5,000 and blow it, it's gone. So no. And there's no way to blow an account apart from lose the money. When you get into a pay account, there's no rules that are going to kill that account. The only way you can blow, you used to be able to, if you, let's say for instance, you had a trade open and we came to the end of the day, that trade would close. It wouldn't close, so the account would be blown. So whatever money was in there, they used to take, but they stopped doing that now. So you can't. I tried it once with a demo account. I left and I was well in anyway. I left the account open and it auto closed it, I think about a minute before the market. So no, you can't do that. Yeah, gold went vertical. Is it really? Ooh. Yeah, see, a lot of people tell me Bitcoin's the new gold, or the new digital gold. I don't know how true that is, but it's been a good week actually. I think I'm up to 12 trades without a loss. I think 11 trades without a loss. I think something like that. So it just goes to show, if you can get a moment of clarity and just sit back and take those good trades. I definitely feel more relaxed when I'm trading. I'm just not letting it worry me anymore. You can do what you can do. You see a good setup, you take it. That's all you can do. So it's not bothering me as much for some reason. I did have a chat with Nick on the phone a few weeks ago, and we had a good chat about it. And he said, "Look, you've got the skills to do it. It's just that psychological side." So I had a good think about it and a good look at myself, and things seem to have improved. So I'm waiting for Nick's bill to come through the post now. He's probably going to want my first $2,000 payout. No, but it is good to chat with other people, especially other traders, because there's no one knows what it feels. It's sort of almost like that military thing, isn't it? Civilians never quite know what it's like. I know it might not be the best comparison, but it's an unusual to trade. It's an unusual emotional event, isn't it? You don't quite know what it's like. I've had people saying to me, "Well, when you do it, and you're making some money. Let me know how to do it." Like, yeah, okay, I'll just jot it down on a piece of paper, then away you go. But no, it's a real trip, isn't it? It's a journey you go through, and at times it does feel pretty lonely. I felt really depressed at times, and I mean really depressed. I've felt a lump in my throat, like I'm about to break down. You know what I mean? That's how I felt in the past. But fortunately, I'm lucky in a sense that I'm one of those who've got a thick skin. I can take a good battering. And I seem to come back with a vengeance. I don't like it when someone says I can't do something. Okay, let's look at this. So look at that. One leg, two leg, and that's a second entry long. Would I take a long off there? Very tempting. Very tempting. Obviously not now, but no, it's a tough old business. Bonds and gold are on fire there early. What are bonds? Are they like government debt bonds? I'm not 100% sure actually. It's the trouble when you only trade this one thing. One leg, two legs. One leg, two leg. So that worked out nice. It actually went nicely up, didn't it? But started going a bit sideways leading up to that news. So the sensible thing would have been there to just to come out of it. I mean, the news wasn't a huge development because we had a couple of strong bars and that was it really. It phased out. So what I've got to remember here is it's risky just taking it off there. I've got to remember, and I've done this before, we're in this trend channel. So taking a long when you're in the middle of a downward trend channel, I've been caught out so many times thinking, there we go, bounced off the bottom. And it may well do, but trouble is, we're in a downtrend. Just wondering whether this is starting to look bearish. Be interesting to see where this finishes. Okay, that's sat on that line again. Now, if we do push up here, I would say it would be just for the break. Yeah, that was a nice place to go long there. There's no argument there. I mean, both those bars there were sat beautifully. Now, one of my rules is not to pick tops and bottoms. This would be picking a top to me because there's nothing else up there. But picking a bottom, this wouldn't be picking a bottom to me. Picking a bottom is just thinking that that's where it might turn around. Here, we've got plenty of confirmation. And a nice, beautiful bullish bar, which was one tick off its high and just sat on that line. So that was going, that was a good trade. Yeah, so we're in this downtrend and we're still coming down. So I'd say we're likely, unless we get a bit of a pullback here, a bit of a break, I'd say this is where we're going to hit the new lows of the day. So just wondering if we are. Actually, we're right on it now. It's just starting to look almost bearish, isn't it? It looks like one leg, two legs. Let's have a look. One leg. Two legs. Yeah. This is where I expect this to come down to. And it's starting. Oh, look at that. Now, I like that now at the moment, and I'm just going to feather that out a little bit. That, to me, is kind of nice. One leg, two. It looks like one leg, pull back, two legs. That would be my target for sure. So if we can get a bit of a pullback to here, trouble is when you get it, it's looking like this. It looks to me clearly one leg down, so it may not even get back down there before it comes down here. Okay, this is a break. So if we can push up here, what would be lovely is to retest this bottom line as well as the EMA. Trouble is when you have a strong downtrend like that, often it doesn't even get back. That would be lovely to take that and ride that down to the bottom. What's there? If from there to there, there's the best part of 8 points there. Frustratingly enough, I just think I've got a feeling it's just not going to get there. Come on, get up there. Come on. Good on you, mate. Well done, Indy. You take that failure there. See, I had this one leg, two legs, so it was only down to here, so it just wasn't close enough for the EMA, but I did think it was coming down to here for this second leg. But if you can get in there, and even if you literally put it on top of every candle on the way down, you'd have got right down to here, wouldn't you? Lovely. 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 and 9 points you got there. Nice. I don't like it when it goes like this. I prefer it to go up staggered. Because bars like this, sometimes they just come straight down. But I think it's risky. Yeah, I think that's going to come straight down. It would be nice to get a lower high. Oh, that would be lovely. So we had this nice trend down. We've had a break. Give us a lower high. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's not a great deal to the lows here, but I'd expect that to push down that measured leg now. That's definitely a measured leg to me.
Order submitted.
That's not as close as I usually like it. I would prefer another one. Good, good. Stay there, stay there, stay there. Okay. Now I prefer make a new high from this. There we go. That's better. In fact, we haven't actually made a new high yet. I much prefer to retest this. Not only that, first entry, second entry, that's a failure. If that triggers, which I hope it does, we may get a decent short out of this now. It's got a trigger though. It's okay, I still like this. Something I don't like about it. It's a bit congested. No, let's put that on the way a minute. It is a... Oh, no, it's... I shorted around there and just rode it down. Not a single green bar. Yeah, there was a failure there. I thought it might make a measured leg. It's just a little bit too far away, but it was a small risk. So yeah, if you just follow the tops all the way down, that's lovely, that is. Nice when that happens. Right, let me have a look at this. Now, it hasn't done what I thought it might do, so now what I'm looking for is two legs. One leg, two legs. If we can get to here and then come through the EMA and give us a lower high, that'd be nice. It's tick there. Love that tick there. One leg, two legs. I'm going to leave that a minute.
Order
Let's take a quick
canceled.
bathroom break. I'll just be a couple of minutes. Come back and retested this. Just wondering whether this is classed as a failed breakout of the range. It does look like it's coming down, doesn't it? Touched, touched, touched. Touched, 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 touched. One leg, two legs. I don't like that colour. Something's bugging me. There we go, that's better. That's better. Not convinced. Going long, are you? See, there is a possibility that this might not be a downtrend. It looks like a downtrend to me because we've obviously we've come down and broke. I mean, you may treat this as a failed breakout. I don't think it is personally. I wouldn't be going long here, especially so close to. Started here, touched 3 times here, touched once, touched twice, touched that. This it's clearly following this line down. So for me, that's important. And it does look like one leg, a correction, then another leg. So I just couldn't be going along at the moment. It's bearish for me at the moment. I might be wrong, but it's looking bearish for me. Just mishy, yeah. Especially after this, I would expect to make a new low eventually. So got this leg down here. This. Okay, so it looks like 2 legs, isn't it? We got this short and trend break new high. I don't think this is part of a bigger channel. It just doesn't look right. It's like a push up, a little bit of sideways push up. See if there's triggers, because you may. No. You're only trade going long, are you? Long's just risky for me at the moment. This will be interesting. If you do see it as a range, touched a bunch of times, sat there, and it's bounced off there. So let's see if it comes through. Let's see if it treats it as a range. I don't think it's going to by the looks of things. No. It's short for me, 100%. Unfortunately, it didn't trigger above there. Even if you wanted to go short there, I'd expect to make a new low. Certainly make a new low, if not make this measured leg. Yeah, if you went long there, you got shafted. There we go. So this is our target, or my target. Got smashed. Yeah, to be fair, mate, it's just looking bearish. You look at this, one leg down, two legs down. Okay, is that the low of the day? I'd expect it to break that low, and it has by a tick. But I would think it would likely come down some more to this measured leg. It's made a new low anyway. There is a second entry long there, which some may get enticed into taking, which is triggered. And whether it will go at the EMA, but I'm still expecting it to come down lower to this measured leg. So I'd say if you took that, I personally think you're going to get stopped out because it is a bit sideways there anyway. If I was a gambling man, I'd take a short there, but I've stopped doing that. I used to. And also, there's a failure there. Shot down, trail one, so it's obviously way away from the EMA, but I think that will push down. Once it gets below here, anybody who did go long there, I don't know why you would. I think that will give it the momentum to come down some more, because we have broken the low by one tick. Yeah, one tick. Interesting. Yeah, it's got to get below here to come down. There is a failure that's triggered, but it's just way too far from the EMA. But if it does manage to get below here, then if there is any longs in there, I think then the next target is down here. Now you need to keep 2,600 cushion. Yeah. I think, if you're doing okay and you're able to build them, I think it'll probably only help you. Because if you get to 2.6 and withdraw 2,000, you've only got 600 left. You ain't got much room for maneuver. I mean, if you're taking two contracts, you can't even lose two trades. You're knackered. It'll go. So I think the chance of you blowing an account when you withdraw 2,000, I think goes up tenfold. So I'd say it's only a good thing. So I'm trying to pick the positive side of it. Okay, so we managed to break below here, so I'd say then I'm confident we're going to make this measured leg, or close to it. But they have said there's no limited days now, 10 days. To be honest with you, in fact, it's going to take you more than 10 days, really, even if you're making $500 a day. You've got to make at least $500 a day, haven't you? It does make you wonder if people are going to start trying to make more money out of it. see what happens here. I still think it's going to come down. They're really accurate, these measured legs, and it's quite a chunk away from it. It's about 3 points away from it, nearly. So I'd expect maybe a pull back to the EMA and then a little bit further. Well, they could be running out of money. Just a thought. I wouldn't have thought so. And I'll tell you this. On the evaluations that have got 90% off, 80% off, they sell way more than if they've got 50% off. So they're going to make money. They're going to make more money by doing those. And not only that, because of the cheaper price, people are going to take more gambles. So I don't think that they're doing the 80% off to try and, because they're short of money, that's going to encourage people to take more risks, and more risks equals more blown accounts. So I think what they're just doing is giving you some rope, enough rope to hang yourself. I've gone off those two swings, and that fits kind of nice. Push down across, break, bounce off. I wouldn't have took that one. It's just I prefer it to push further up, really. But I'm sure it would come down here. It's quite a bit away from it. There may be some longs there. So if it breaks below there, then I got no argument. We're probably going to make this measured leg. We've all done it. Blown PAs after the first withdrawal, yeah. Fortunately, when I took mine, I think I was up about 5,500. I think when I took mine, so it was about the same. I just wanted to try and get a couple of accounts and just drag a bit of extra money in, but it's okay. It's okay. The sensible thing to do would be not to do that. How do I feel about this? Second entry short, if that looks right. It's too far away, that is, personally, but we've had this trend channel down. We try to go once, try to go twice. Ooh, that's tempting. But I'm going to leave it alone because it's too far away. But I would say that would probably be the way down, which is triggered. If we can get another tick, it'll get below that. Yeah, okay. So I think we'll come down now. I don't think you'll get stopped out there. We've had this trend channel. We try to go once, try to go twice. I'd say that's the way down. Certainly get 2 points out of it. Let's have a look. Where's your 2 points? There. Especially as we've had two pushes up and we're close to that measured leg. But it's the fact that it's not close enough for me, which is why I think it's extra risky. I prefer that a lot closer, the body of it below here. We'll see. Oh, you don't know about it, leader loser. Okay. Best thing to do, mate, is to walk away and enjoy the rest of your day before you find out what the new. Then it's not terrible. It's not terrible. Okay. There's a failure there, so if that finishes bearish, see what happens. I won't be contented until we hit this measured leg. Certainly, I'd say there's certainly going to be 2 points in there. Can't find them. I didn't know anything about it, to be honest with you, mate. Yeah, I was just, you know, as much as me. There was a few others told me. I haven't had an email about it or anything. But rumours soon fly around, don't they? I haven't been on Facebook this morning, any of the groups, but I dare say by the time I go on later, there'll be all sorts of stuff going around. It's a sort of a small community, really, isn't it? It doesn't take everybody long to find out. Double bottom round there. I'm just wondering if anyone will have bought there. If they have, and it breaks below there, then I'd say we're almost definitely going to get the 2 points. But it is looking a bit congested. And we have made a new low from this channel, but we haven't got close to this measured leg yet. Or is this going to absolutely annihilate those stops for the shorts? Which is why I never got into it. As bearish as that's looking, it's that far away from the EMA, which has made me nervous. I think it'll work, but I wouldn't be stunned if it shoots up there and takes out these. But I think it's close enough to this measured leg that it's going to make it. Yeah, so there may be people picking bottoms off here. Suppose if you're going to pick a bottom of a day, this would be where it would be. Something like that. So I think if it does get below these, it'll push quite quickly to this measured leg. If. Anybody had an idea why the volume was so low yesterday? I mean, that's a lot more volume than there was at this time yesterday. A lot more volume. Okay, one more tick below there, and then I think we'll meet our measured move. There we go. There we go. Last week's close, is it? I don't tend to bother with them, to be fair. It's going to go bang. It's Still like to see this measured leg play out. Okay, so if you did go short, that's why I didn't take that. Yeah, I thought that might happen if it didn't get down. So I didn't take that. It's just too risky. Too far away from the MA. You'd have squeezed maybe a point and a half. Well, you'd have got, yeah, point and a half at the most, I think. It's definitely got bearish written all over it to me. Okay, see if it comes down and tries again. I'd still like to see that measured move play out. Just can't, even if it pushes up, I can't bring myself to go long at the moment when it's doing this. Yeah, strange enough, if you took that one, you still survived. Okay, give me my measured move. Come on. There we go. Beautiful. That's played out now. Now, will I go long off here? No, we're still in a downtrend. Can't counter trend. Interested to see how far this comes down. Ooh, right to the bottom of the channel. He'd have been with Panda, I reckon, won't he? He'd have been with his mate Panda. Is he not trade? Is he back trading? I know he had a week off, didn't he? Yeah. He is. He's flitting around, isn't he? I think. I would be. I'd be watching all the streamers. I'd probably have them all on different screens, figuring out who's doing what. I have watched a couple of who's the other guy? Who's the bald-headed guy? What's his name? Trader Joe. I have watched him a couple of times, but he doesn't seem to take much in the way of trades. I know he's super patient. I'll give him that, but I think I saw two or 3 days in a row where he never took a trade. I think So he definitely sits back. He's been cheating on us. Yeah, he's been with his mate Panda, haven't you, loser? You go where you want, mate. I don't mind. I don't mind. I would, mate, to be fair. You know, it's business and it, not personal. You go where you... I mean, some people just work better for some people. You know, some people might not want to hear somebody chatting on. Some people might want a bit more peace and quiet. It's background music, kills me. That's the thing with background music. It can be quite repetitive. I did ask, actually, a month or so ago if anybody wanted music instead of me talking. And it was a resounding no. They'd rather hear me talk, which my wife looked completely puzzled by, I gotta say. You watch Patrick Welland? Patrick Welland. I haven't heard of him, no. Let me take a photo of that. I will have a look, though. I'm always up for looking at other streamers and finding out what they're doing. I nick some ideas from. No, it don't bother me where you go, to be honest with you. I don't mind. I don't get personal. To be fair, I started this purely to help me. So, and that's what it's doing. So I don't mind whether I get 5 people watching or 50. It doesn't bother me. Paper Wheeland. He's got. Here we go. I got you. Don't bother. It's really annoying. Mind you, the Panda guy has a lot of followers, doesn't he? He's got about 10 or 11,000 subscribers, so a lot of people follow him. The only issue with him, I'll say, is he's constantly got his chart like that, and he doesn't seem to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. That's the only one thing I'll say. You know, I don't like to criticize or comment on anybody's, but he does seem to be very much zoomed in, and he doesn't zoom out and hit the bigger picture. He seems to trade each individual channel and not the bigger picture. So whether he's just slipped in some bad habits but he trades this thing he calls Big Mama. I don't quite know what it is. In other words, when it goes up and hits up, I don't quite know, but you'll have to. But yeah, it's. I did feel a bit sorry for him because he took a week off, didn't he? He hit a bad run, and I did actually message him and just said, you know, I look back on some of your videos going back a year or so ago, and he was making green. So he can trade. He's just slipped into some bad habits. So I just wished him the best in that. But I know what it's like. We all know what it's like. It's tough at times, isn't it? And I've slipped into my fair share of dark holes, put it that way. But I wish everyone well in this business because I know how difficult it is. And if you can make money in this business, you got my respect. So 1 leg down, 2 legs down. Let's have our other leg. I'll have a look, actually. Couldn't go past 1 minute. Okay. Sam's okay. I don't know why he doesn't talk sometimes. Mind you, it doesn't suit everyone. I'm just a natural chatty person anyway, so it's not for everyone really. Some people like to concentrate. I find I work better if I'm talking through what I'm looking at. It just helps me hear it a bit clearer, but I suppose we're all wired slightly different, aren't we? But Sam does talk sometimes, and he's got an interesting sounding voice. I think he'd be okay, but it's a personal thing, isn't it? Big news in America. Trump in trouble. I did hear about that. Isn't he due to get arrested, isn't he? Isn't that to do with the storming of the Capitol building, isn't it, or something? It was a shame that he went out like that because he's going to remember he wouldn't shake the guy's hand. He refused to take that. Now, you know, I'm not going to go into your politics. Some people like him, some people don't. I believe he did well for the country, but I don't know too much about it. But it's a shame, really, to end your presidency in that way, really. you know, sometimes you just got to admit your defeat. You got to shake the guy's hand and move on, haven't you? But he sort of refused to accept it, didn't he? Which is a shame, really. You know, nowadays, you got to be the bigger guy, haven't you? And say, okay, you know, it's happened for whatever reason. I mean, if we were in parts of Africa, you could understand why people say, I don't believe the result, because you know there's probably a lot more corruption. But yeah, it's a shame, really. But yeah, I believe it's to do with the Capitol building. I'm not 100% sure. Do yourself a favour and don't look up. Good trade follows. Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried. That's an interesting name. Sam Bankman-Fried. Take a photo of that. I like looking up anybody. Where is he? Sam Bankman-Fried. Take a photo of that. Okay. You could say that's a failure. I'm not a massive fan. We've had a break of that. I'm going to leave it alone until I see a real sitter. Oh, God, don't go on about it. What's your name? Vafara? That's hard to say, isn't it? Yeah, we all know, mate. And occasionally someone new comes in and tells us all over again, so we've got to listen to it again. But yeah, we've had a chat about it a couple of times today. So yeah, we've heard about the new rules. It is frustrating if you had, you know, thoughts of payments, but I don't think it's a bad thing. Has been changed. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing, bud. The trouble is, if you get to $2,600, you take a $2,000 trade, the chance of you losing your account then is quite high. So what it will do, I think it'll help you hold on to your account. So I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just a bit frustrating because every time Apex comes forward with these things, they're usually amazing rules. Let's see if we do get this measured leg. Yeah, I mean, I've always said when I've talked about Apex, about rules, I've always added or lack of them, because they seem to, every rule they have, they seem to just get rid of. But obviously they brought a new one in. But someone did mention there's no limit on 10 days, so at least you don't have to think about that now. Just hit your target. But if you can get 5-6 and you withdraw $2,000, or if you can get 4-6, at least you know you've still got 2,600. But it's not your money. That's the only downside now. So if you ever decided you wanted to cash in and move off, that $2,600 they keep now. So what they're basically saying is that $2,600 isn't your money anymore, whereas it was before. So when you think about it like that, it doesn't sound very nice, does it? Okay, I expect to hit this. I believe so, yeah. Somebody mentioned there's no limit to days now. And to be fair, chance of you hitting, you know, $4,600 so you can take a $2,000 in payment is a little bit tougher anyway, isn't it? So I'd say it's probably going to take at least 10 days. But there are going to be a few. I mean, if they're saying there's no limit and someone hits it in a day, they can't exactly say we're not paying you out. If you've said there's no limit, so in other words, you're saying that I can do it in a day. So if someone wants to hit lucky and hit 4,600 a day and take a payment, they can't really argue with that. I think some use the PA as a disposal account, take 2,000 and start a new rule, maybe curb that. Yeah, I think that's probably why they were doing it. I think DJ Apex does have a no windfall rule. Was that a question, Bud? Because I think they did, didn't they? Or they got rid of it, DJ. Because, yeah, they said if you, over the 10 days, if you hit over 30%, they didn't class that as a day. Well, if they're saying there's no limit to the 10 days now, they can't exactly argue if you pass it in one day. Okay, there's our measured leg right to the bottom of that channel. Bounce, bounce. I've got no qualms now that that's that channel, just the way that's bounced. Even if we go lower. So if you withdraw before May and your buffer is less than £2. I wouldn't have thought so, Sam. They'll have some sort of cut-off thing that, okay, this system will carry on as normal up until May, and then from maybe a certain day in May, it reverts to the new system. So I won't worry too much. They got rid of the 10-day rule payouts. Somebody mentioned they didn't it, yeah. But they also have the 30% rule. Yeah, I can't see how that would work. They can't say there's no limit to it. So if I pass it in a day, then you just said there's no limit. So I'm gonna have to go into the. I dare say there'll be loads of chatter around later. I'll have a browse around some of the Facebook groups and see if we can find out a little bit more details on it. Yeah, I mean, if you get a big runner, see, Nick, I believe trading the sniper system, they go for runners, they go for big points. We tend to not do that so much. So, I would have said, if there's a runner available and you decide to make a lot of money in a runner, then you'd be stupid not to, wouldn't you? So I can't see how they would incorporate that. Let's have a look here. Now it's only touched once before, so I could theoretically bring it down to there. We'll see. Yeah, it'll be like anything. We'll get used to it. It's just the initial shock, isn't it? I think 50,000 account. It will still be 50,100 for draws, but you will have to get it above the cushion. Yeah. So in other words, after you make a withdrawal, you still have to have 52,600 in there. So that has to stay in the account. So in other words, whereas that was your money, it's now not your money, because that has always got to remain in the account. I'm assuming even if you close the account, could you take that? Probably not, no. But I think these are details. Whenever they do these new, there's always a little bit of a backlash and a few questions, and they need to go over and explain themselves a little bit more. When they charge PA fees, possible one-time PA fee. They said it was only on new accounts, old rules. Should 100% be the same. I agree, mate. Yeah. But it doesn't start till May, so I think they'll probably. Yeah, I see what you mean. You signed a contract, didn't you? To say so. See whether they're doing it so everyone just starts taking loads of valuations and gets a load of PA accounts. Maybe they'll just do it, and then when everyone's got loads of PA accounts and loads of evaluations, they'll go, we'll revert back to the rule. I just noticed actually, Nick. I noticed I have had it about 120 before, not long after I first started when I built my PA. But then when I took a nosedive and everything turned to rat shit, and I lost my PA account, it dropped. So I think people thought he's another wannabe. He's had a bit of luck and he's just screwed up. Let's move on to someone else. But yeah, really YouTuber. My daughter watches that. Who's that guy? What's his name? Where he gives away cars and houses and money. That guy has 150 million views per video. I forget his name now, but he gives away houses, cars, tons of money. I forget his name. My daughter watches him. She's obsessed with him. My daughter, I remember my daughter when she was about 6 years old, she said she wanted to marry One Direction, and she wanted me and her mum to be bridesmaids. Kids have all these weird ideas, don't they? Two legs. What's going on here? Beast. That's it, Beast. Yeah, that guy makes some serious money. Yeah, I had a quick browse on it. I think he was getting around about 150 million, Mr. Beast. Yeah, some like 150 million views But it's interesting to watch because he just throws money away, literally throws it away. Houses, cars, he just gives people. Right, what's going on here then? Definitely a downtrend, no argument there, but we're coming to the bottom of it now, so we're going to go lower, or we're going to come back a bit. Mm-hmm. Catty. I don't think I could handle one of those, mate, to be honest with you. Yatty. My brother's into all that stuff. Yeah. As I'm getting a bit older, I prefer something comfort. I do love the Land Rover Velar's, actually. And I'm a fan of the Jag. What is it? The Jag F-Pace. It's like a 4x4 Jag. Those two I like. I don't know if I go down the sporty route. I always like the Ferrari California with the folding hardtop. I always like that. I mean, you've got to have serious money in you just to maintain them Bugattis. Okay, we're at the bottom again. Apex trade copy replicanto. Yeah, that's what I will say, is I've moved on from Apex to replicanto now. And the reason being is I've had a few issues and they just don't really... They've said they don't support you. They don't support it. So I think if you pay money for something, you at least want an instruction book. They have made a couple of videos, but there are bits missing from the video. For instance, if you had two accounts, one triggered, one didn't, but it was still sat there, and you brought your stop down to take profit, when it hits your stop, it can turn to a buy order. I had that problem. So they just miss out bits like that, and I don't think you can really. So I had Replicanto for 1 day, and I got an update. So, and it said they fixed bugs. So if there's bugs in the system, there's going to be bugs in Apex's system. So it's just a, you know, from people have told me it's less problematic. I think you are going to get the issue with some accounts not triggering, but I believe there's less of it with Replicanto, just from what I've gathered. It's just a white label of... Yeah, I heard that as well. So we're coming out the bottom here. We've got yesterday's lows down here, so we may be making a beeline for those. It's coming out the bottom, isn't it? Gotta say, I definitely seem to have more success taking less trades. I think over the last week, I'd say I've had more days where I take one trade. And it just goes to show, if you sit there and wait for those good trades, you're going to get way more accuracy. So it does work. I mean, you may say, well, you've only taken one trade. Let's say I take 3 trades, a winner, a loser, and a winner. I'm going to end up exactly the same as this if I just take the one winner. Because you take a winner, one trade, you take a loser, two trades, you're back to zero. So you've got to take a third trade just to be this up. So definitely works. I'm sitting there patiently and taking less. It's a lot less stressful as well, because if you take a trade that you know you probably shouldn't have done, there's nothing worse than sitting through that. It's sheer agony because you just know you shouldn't have taken it. Just wondering, actually, let me get rid of that a minute. Let me adjust it to there. That looks better. Okay, so we've got another channel working down here. You're welcome, bud. And if you do decide to have it, I've got a 10% off for you there. There's that code there. If you do ever get it or use it, I'll get 10% off. But just the fact that they update it or upgrade it or support it is a better system, in other words. And considering they're exactly the same price. But having said that, I have spoken to people who get on okay with it. But I suppose it depends. If you know, I spoke to Wilson, V. Wilson, and he traded 20 accounts on it. He seems to get on okay with it. So you just don't know, do you? Whether it's something to do with your system or what, I don't know. Or, I mean, you have got to be on top of it. You've got to continue. You've got to watch these and check that there's nothing left. You know, when that trade closes, that there's nothing still open. That's the one frustrating thing. I did want to mention to you guys as well. I heard this. Somebody mentioned this a few months ago. You know, when the trade closes and you get these little boxes that come up just for about 5 or 6 seconds, trade closed or whatever it is, there's a way of getting rid of them. Because the trouble is, if I've got anything in here that hasn't triggered, that having those boxes pop up and cover them, I can't see what's going on there. So there is a way of getting rid of them somehow, but I'm not too sure. There we go. Sam, you're about 2 hours late, mate. We've been through all new email from Apex policy updates. Yeah. Best you go and sit down, mate, before you read them. It's not too terrible. It just, the main difference is you've got to have $2,600 left in your account. I got to say, I was surprised they had that. I even questioned that when I heard about it. I just didn't get it. You disable it in Rhythmic. Yeah, there's a way of doing it, isn't there? Anyone know how to do it? I'll find out later. Okay. Now this is a break. My only worry is if this is we're on this line and we've broken out of it. So if it's a strong market, it may continue down, but that is a break. Yeah, it's a clear channel. Touched it. Broken out of it. And you would expect it to make a new low, but we have just broken out of this. Well, I mean, it's not a confirmed bigger channel. And it could actually be further down. It's only touched it once before, really, anyway. So, I mean, it may end up doing something like that at the end of the day, but there's no reason why we can't adjust the bottom of it. And now you think about it, it's using that center line quite nicely. So I'm quite happy to do that. Okay, so had this new low, try to go long, so try to go low twice. Let's see if this short failure triggers. And that may give us a trap down. Yeah, you can disable it in rhythmic somehow. But if I like to see what's in that box, because if one account triggers, another one doesn't. I like to just check that that's clear. When those things pop up, it obscures it and you can't see it. I think we could have put in the bottom, but need to confirm. It's hard to say, really, isn't it? About there, wasn't it? One leg, two legs. So break out of this channel. I think they might have brought that from there. Let's have a look. Okay, see, I've put this here, which is right, I think. Maybe not. So it's actually hit that measured move and then reacted strongly. So you would think by that it would come down and make a new low, which would be down here somewhere. One leg, two leg. Possible lower high. EMA is very flat, so we've had one leg, two leg. You'd expect to make a new low from here, wouldn't you? Let's get an order ready. It's going very slow all of a sudden, and it's a bit congested, and the EMA is flat. Okay. Yeah, something I didn't like there. Sorry, mate. B, I didn't notice that. What's Wilson's first name? I don't know, actually. I get confused because I know Sam from Five Trader is Sam Wilson. So it gets a bit confusing, but it's a V, isn't it? So I don't know. What is it? Vernon, Vince? I don't know. What are the names beginning with V? I don't know. See, let me just adjust this like that. See, you could say, no, that's not really a break. You could say it's a break in a new low, but it's not very convincing one, is it? No. No idea if it's even a bloke. It could be. That's a good point. It could be Veronica. It could be. You don't know, don't you? I know there's a very small, it's only a small percentage. I think it's only about 5%. And I know this because if I look through my analytics, it does a breakdown of, with male, female, how many from the US, how many from Brazil. And it is interesting, actually. People watch you from Norway, Ecuador, Vietnam, places like that. So it is interesting. But yeah, it's only about 5% of female traders. It's a small amount, actually. I'm quite surprised. I don't know why. As I've said before, I think women will be quite good at it because they're less hot-headed than guys. Guys tend to get frustrated and jump in, whereas ladies are a little bit more, they tend to think a bit more, don't they? So I would have thought the ladies will be better at it. But it's only small percentage. And I think we know we've got Angela here. I don't know if anyone, I think there was a Tracy here. So we got Angela, Tracy. I did have a message this morning from, what's her name? I had a bit of a message with her this morning. It's gone blank. Oh yeah, Karina Polo. So there's 2. I think there's about 4 I know, I think. 4, I think. Okay, we've had a little bit of sideways. Possible second entry long. Would you go along there? Risky. Didn't trigger anyway. A little bit of sideways. Bum. I would say we're going to break these lows. That's played out now to the nearest tick of that leg. It just goes to show how accurate these legs are, doesn't it? I'm in good company. We're taking care of you, aren't we? You're okay. We're keeping the language down. We're not spitting. We're behaving ourselves, aren't we? Because we know there's ladies present, see? With a polite bunch. Yeah, we don't hear from many, to be honest. And occasionally, I've had a chat with where have I had a chat from? Why do I not use order flow indicators? It's just this style of strategy doesn't require them, really. I do know a couple of guys who use them or have used them, but this is quite fast moving, and our decision making doesn't necessarily till the last second. So looking over to another screen and looking at some order flow, I don't know how I would feel about that personally. But I have asked the question, but very few people who trade this style use them. But that's not to say they don't have their place. There probably are many out there that do use them. But no, it's not something. I know a buddy of mine uses them, and he gave me a website to download a two-week trial to have a look. So I meant to do it at some point, but I haven't got round to it yet. Maybe I will, Lewis. Maybe I will. Apex updated their rules of payout. You're going to send me messages tonight now, mate, aren't you? Have you heard about the new Apex rules? Volume profile is very helpful. Yeah, I sort of get what they are. It just shows you the order book, doesn't it? You know, if let's say, for instance, I've got my stop here, doesn't it show you if there's, you know, maybe a load of buyers down here? So if I've got my stop here and it's coming down and I might get stopped out, if I have a look on there, won't it show me if there's a load of buyers sitting waiting just below this? In other words, then I can bring my stop back out the way and risk a bit more, because if it hits below there, the buyers will jump in. I'm pretty sure. Is that somewhere along the right lines? You might have to be a bit more specific, but I'm not 100% sure. But that is my limited understanding of it, but I might be wrong. But I believe it's just like the order book that's just showing you how many other contracts are there at a certain price, you know, ready to go. God for this stream, keeping us entertained during the market setups. Shame you can't say. I could have a little song and a dance, but I got quite a nice voice, actually. Well, I think I have. My daughter and wife would probably disagree. Could have a quiz at some point, you never know. It can be quite boring, though, trading, I've got to say. Sometimes when you're stuck on your own for a few hours, it is quite boring, isn't it? We will have things like Christmas carols and that at Christmas time. We'll definitely have some carols. Maybe a bit of a background carol playing, something like that at Christmas again, just to get us into the spirit. In fact, I did trade with a Santa hat on this year. Christmas gone, but I might upgrade it this year and get myself a little tree in the room. Got to say, it's a nice job to do at Christmas, you know, whereas so many other people are out in the freezing cold, and you're sat working for 3 hours in the warm. What time is it? 2.25 hours. I'll tell you what, my wife's just pulled up, so I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'm going to make her a cup of tea, make myself one, and I will be back in 5 minutes. Okay, we're back. Okay, more sideways. I didn't miss anything. Okay, that would make sense. We're about our low point really. We could be coming back a bit, at least to maybe the midline. Apex V month back. I had traded the news. Made back through a trade. Profit 7,008, and they told me I blew my account, but on Rhythmic and Ninja it said profit. That's not good. I blew my account on Rhythmic and Ninja said profit. I don't know how that works. I took screenshots. What did they get back to you? 440 got resolved. Oh, so you got your money, did you? Damn right, yeah, they've got to be careful about doing stuff like that. If they don't pay someone on something like that. At the end of the day, profit's profit. You know, if sometimes you'll just hit profit. It happens. I watched the Gorilla guy take 32 point move a few weeks ago. You got it sorted. Yeah, that's the main thing. That's one of the reasons I like streaming, because everything I do is recorded. So if something does go amiss, as long as I've got profit shown where it should do, at least I've got, a way of saying, well, I got it recorded. So yeah, at least you got it sorted out. Because it could have gone the other way. You might have lost it, and or you might have won it or lost it, and then it's shown that it won it. They'll soon get it back. Sorry, I didn't make much sense. I'm not hearing them, but still use them. Yeah, I think they're okay. I'm confident in them, and I think if you get issues, I think they've got to be fair. But yeah, there's no rule you can't trade the news, and if you trade the news and you hit a big win, then it is what it is. They can't say we've got no rules in trading the news, and then if you happen to hit a big win on trading news, they can't say, Now, as long as Ninja Trader says it, the profit's there, profit's there. Does seem like it's a down day most of the day, doesn't it, I think? And every day I take a screenshot. Yeah, I do as well. I take all my charts. Yeah, if anybody doesn't, it's easy to do. Just save chart image and that's it. It saves it. So yeah, we're definitely sideways at the moment. I've actually come up and bumped this midline now, so let me have a look at this. I'm just wondering. That's what I would like to see. For me, we're clearly bearish. So would you fade this? Let me have a look. Look at that. It's slightly out of it, isn't it? Let me have a look. See how this finishes. I prefer it to go up a bit further. Yeah, we're going sideways, aren't we? So you would fade the range. Would you fade it there, though? Technically, it's a break in a new high, isn't it? I prefer to get up to here, though, personally. Okay, so there's our break. No argument there. See if it hits this. Okay, so push up sideways, push up. Clearly bearish at the moment. If we can hit that after this break, maybe interested in shorting back into the range. I prefer, let's see if it does come down. I prefer a second entry anyway, really, up here. Now, the good thing about having a community like this is you've got strength in numbers. So if there's any issues with Apex, all this is recorded. All the comments are recorded. So we have got sort of safety in numbers, really, because you've got to be fair in business, you know. They take the money. They've got to play by the rules and pay it out when the time comes. So I asked Darryl about the new safety rules. He said that the safety net can be withdrawn after 3 months withdrawals. And the account can be closed. Okay, I like that, Tyler. Okay, that's good. So it is your money then. They're just putting a hold on it. Yeah, what they're doing is just stopping people trying to hit a home run. Trouble is, if they've got no set amount of days, it's easy to set, you know, try and get a home run, isn't it? But I think that's okay. They withdraw it. So after 3 months, you could withdraw it all back down to 50,100 and move on if you wanted to. So that's okay. Okay, so perhaps now some more of the details coming out. Things aren't so bad. I did look at that. We've had a break and a new high, followed by a bearish bar. It's one tick off its low. So you would like to think that would come down, but I'd have preferred just to move up to this, you know, this other leg up here before I thought about going short. But it's definitely a shorting market for me. There's nothing that's going to make me think about going long here. Obviously, apart from the obvious. But we were bouncing off the bottom then, so there was no indicator of us coming down. But no indication of us coming down. Sorry, so. Matt's giving something. Oh yeah, Mac is back up and running. See what chart he's given us. Might be a little bit different because obviously it's developed, isn't it? Okay. Still range at the moment, so even if that breaks over there, it's just a bit risky at the moment. Yeah, see, Max got his drawn. Obviously, it's changed since then. Max got that drawn right across there. Yeah, it's come out and retested it. But obviously, since then, we've had this, we've had this, we've had this, we've had this. So that's it. That's fine. Yeah, that's why I had mine drawn. Okay, so yeah. Same. Max chart finishes about here. So yeah, that's fine. I mean, we're clearly coming down. No argument. Sorry, Indy, I've just seen what you've written there. Lord, no Christmas music, please. Yeah, you'll feel differently, mate, when the Christmas spirit hits you. Don't you worry. Okay. Lower high. I think that's risky, personally. If we'd have got up here, then I might have thought of going short there, but I'm just not so sure at the moment. It may just come down a bit and go back up. What are the numbers next to price? Those there. Excuse me. Okay, that there shows that current buy is 6 ticks in value. So it'll give you an idea when you're taking a trade of how much you're likely to risk. That number there is because we're trading a 2000 tick chart. So every one of these something's moving there. These countdowns, basically, it's counting down from 2000, which is the 2000 tick. So 2000 trades. So every time there's a trade, it counts down. So when that gets to 0, it just gives you an idea that the bar's ending, and that might be a particular area where you want to take a trade. And that number there was just the previous bar, so this one here. So that's 6 ticks is this one, the 8 ticks is the previous bar, and that's the countdown for the 2000 ticks, so 2000 trades. So I hope that helps. Road Rage, I think you're a new subscriber. Where you from? Welcome. Where you from? Always like to know where people are from. Road Rage. I think we know you drive. where you from? It's always nice to have new faces. Measured move did play out. Which measured move are you on about, bud? Yeah, see if you'd taken that one, you're probably going to get stopped out, which is why it's just risky. AZ. that Arizona? I'm not sure. Z. Might be Arizona. I'm not too sure. I'm sure someone will let me know. 4:19 p.m. is that one, first leg here. Finally blew. You didn't. I've been trading break even since last year. Oh, bad luck, mate. Pissed off. I don't bet you did, mate. I blame Apex. Their annoying email. Trouble is, when you get email stuff like that, it can affect you. And if you're reading something like that and trading, it can put you in a bad mood. I get that, mate. Arizona, yeah, I got you. It is, yeah, okay. It's just the AZ. Thought it would have been AR. I don't know. Bad luck, Sam. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. You've had that message from me a bunch of times, mate, so I know how you feel, mate. Went into it today, all guns blazing. Yeah, do you know, I've gone in there and traded account where I've been frustrated and angry, and every sign, every signal is telling me not to trade, but it's like, bugger it, I'm going to trade anyway, I'm going in. Yeah, it is weird, isn't it, how you do that? Yeah, I seem to have found a little bit of clarity at the moment. I seem to just feel calmer. I'm trying not to let it bother me and worry me at the moment. And what I think's helping me is I'm taking less trades because I'm waiting for really good trades. So I'm getting a better result. So whether that'll help you or not, but I definitely trading more relaxed. I'd say more days than not, I'm getting one trade. So I'm quite happily sitting through them. So you'll get over it, mate. A day or two, you'll feel better. But I'll tell you, I'll read you quickly. I noticed a message on one of the Apex group. This might give you a little bit of a bit of clarity. Let's have a look. It was on one of the. Is this it? Okay. There was a guy saying he'd blown, I think, his 12th PA account. And a guy called Matthew Gardner said, don't worry about it, I've got news for you. Daryl Martin blew way more than that when we were trading on Alilu, long before Apex Funding even existed. So it just goes to show you. So even people like Daryl Martin, who's a successful trader, has gone through it. And I think you have to go through that. You're going to fight the market. You're going to battle the market. You're going to battle your emotions and your demons. You're going to battle your previous losses. And at some point, I think you almost just give up and think all this frustration and anger and worrying and stress just doesn't do any good. And I think then you just maybe find a moment of clarity and just think, just sit here, wait for a good trade, take it, and that's it, end of. What's helped me as well is not trading after the stream or before it, because I worked out about 90% of my losses. My blown accounts, in fact more than that, were taken when I came back later out of either frustration because I was on a loss for the day or greed because I was up and I blew accounts. So all I do now is I've started making trading a little bit of a backseat now. It's been at the forefront of my mind for the last 2.5 years. Everything, my whole life's revolved around trading, and what I've realised is I need to have some downtime. If you finish your job for the day, you don't go back to work later, do you? But that's what I was doing. So I'm thinking sometimes a little bit time away from the charts, turn up, do your 2-3 hours, shut down, walk away, and leave it at that. And that's helped me. So don't beat yourself up, mate. And I know you've heard that before, but you know it's tough, and you know if you stick at it, you'll get there, and you know it's going to be a bit of a rocky ride. But I believe if you keep coming back, you'll get there. But try not giving a shit. Sounds a bit weird, but just do it. Wait for a good setup and leave it. I know it sounds obvious, but I think every time you fail, you get closer to getting where you want to be, because sooner or later you're forging your brain to start working the way it needs to. to be a trader. I printed that out actually on a bit of paper. Let me find it. Yeah, a guy called Martin Kichak sent me this, and I printed it out. Actually, I'm going to frame it. And it says, it seems like that despite everything man hear or read, and despite our best intentions, it's still necessary to experience moments of madness and impulsive trades to finally be forged into a great trader. I like that. Just the word forged. And that's sort of what you have to do. You need to sort of forge that brain to start thinking like a trader and not like the normal human emotions. And I think the more you do it, sooner or later, your just brain will start working slightly different, and it won't affect you as much. And when that happens, you'll relax more, and you'll get on with the job and not stress about it. But don't beat yourself up, mate. Get a couple of single malts down you. Put your feet up tonight, and your brain will clear, and you'll come back with a vengeance, mate. The fact that you stream regular and you trade regular and you keep coming back and you keep fighting tells me it's just a matter of time, mate. You can tell the type of people who'll do well in trading, and you're one of them, mate. I just tell by the way you talk and how you think, and you'll get there, mate. You just need to get over these frustrating times, but this is all part of the journey, mate, forging you into doing what you want to do. So you'll be all right. You'll be all right. I've been doing okay lately and pretty calm about it. Just takes one. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it is hard, mate. It is hard. Do you know what? Because I haven't really taken any more than one account, and I've had a few lately, and I got two to three PA accounts, and I came back after, and just something went wrong. I don't know what happened, but I ended up blowing one of them, and I was absolutely sick. And strangely enough, I was 1 day away from hitting the 10 days in above 2,600, so I could have made a withdrawal. And then ended up blowing the next one a few days later. And then I had a conversation with Nick here, Nick Sester, on the phone. And I just had a chat with him, and he just talked to me a bit, and I just started feeling a little bit more settled, and maybe a little bit more belief in my trading, because you do have that doubt, don't you? And I think as long as you doubt yourself and you doubt your trading, you're more liable to take risks because you think you can't get there with just on skill alone, when you really can. And we've all heard the term, you need to believe it. And I think it's important as a trader, because if you believe you can make money with skill without trying to revenge trade and get lucky, you'll start to get somewhere. Because that's what it is. It's about making that money out of skill, not revenge. Because revenge trading is purely gambling. You're trying to gamble your way up there. And that, to me, says lack of belief in your skills. It is, isn't it? Yeah. And if I don't believe in myself and thinking, can I really do this? When I got that PA account up, was it luck? Because if it is, I'm just going to have to get a bit lucky. So, I'll try and revenge trade this one. But I think when you've been doing it a while and you start to find a nice place and your trades are working, you'll start to think, actually, I've got the skills to do this. Let's concentrate just on my skills and just sit here patiently and take one trade after another. I had a day last week where I never took a trade, and that's rare for me, but I was quite happy with it. And I seem to be getting more days where I'm taking one trade, and that tells me that I'm sitting here patiently and waiting for trades that pop out. And I'm starting now to feel like I actually believe I can do this, so I don't need to rely on that bit of luck and that bit of gambling to get me there, just to maybe top me up. See, when I got a bit of a PA account, I feel like I'll just have a couple of trades and just see if I can get lucky, and that'll give me a bit of a stepping stone. I got more chance of hitting my target then. So I'm relying on a bit of gambling and a bit of luck. And after a while, when your trades start working, you start to believe, actually, I don't need that luck. and I don't need those silly risky trades just to try and give me a head start, because I can do it. You know, it's all part of the journey. Mate, we've all heard the saying, you can do anything you want in this life. All you've got to do is keep working at it. And that's all you've got to do. You've already made it as a trader, because you've already got the guts to come here every day and take hit after hit after hit and still keep trying. You know, that says it for me straight away. You'd have given up long ago if it wasn't, you know, if it wasn't something you were going to be able to do. Okay, so we've just bounced off or broken through yesterday's lows. Yeah, I have blown many accounts. Yeah, just don't give up. It is. It's forging that brain. Sooner or later, that brain will start to change. Because you'll realise all the revenge trading, all the frustration, all the risks and the gambles, it just does not work. But because that fear or fight or flight, those emotions just kick in. But sooner or later, those emotions will just start to take a back seat and just realise it just does not work. On the trades and money. Yeah, I agree with that, Indy. I have as well. I'm not thinking too much about the money. If you look last time I passed it and got my PA count up, I was averaging between $300 and $1,300 a day. You know, my average was $500 to $800 a day, because I thought that's what I needed to do, big amounts. But 225 today, $300 yesterday. You get 200. If you look at Marco, he has 10 accounts. He aims for $200 and one trade on each account. That's $2,000 a day going into his 10 PA accounts. That is serious money. So, you know, you don't need a lot. One nice trade a day. If you happen to get two beauties, then you get two beauties. But I'm concentrating more on sitting here and doing my job. And my job is to sit here patiently until I can see a trade. And when I see a trade, if I genuinely believe in it, I execute it and let it run and fully believe in it. And if you know, when you start doing that, things will just start to happen. But yeah, you'll be all right in a day or two, mate. You'll clear your head again. You've done it before. You'll do it again. You'll clear that head, and then you'll come back with a vengeance. And that's the sign of someone who's going to get somewhere in life, because they're not prepared to give up. This is definitely doable. You know, we're not talking about running the 100 meters in 9 seconds, are we? But this, absolutely. That was an easy 600. Oh my God, what did you do? Oh, that there. Every time we get a runner, mate, you seem to be in it. I don't know what you're doing. And I did look at that, and it was a little bit sideways, but I sort of knew at some point we'd have a new low from this. I will just say as well, I've just hit my 50,000th view. It's quite a nice achievement, that. I remember day one saying I've got 6 subscribers. So that's quite a nice achievement, that. So I appreciate everyone, all of you guys who are on here regularly, but everyone who's on the stream now and everyone who's watched. It's quite a nice achievement, that, 50,000. What's even more impressive is it's nearly 16,000 hours of view time. Just the fact that you maniacs have sat through 16,000 hours of listening to me rabbiting on. It's unbelievable. But yeah, so it was kind of nice, actually. It's kind of a nice achievement, really. I don't tend to stick to many things and achieve much, but yeah, it's quite nice. Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it. Never thought that would happen, but I'd have sort of been happy with a dozen people. Just the fact that I know people are watching, you're less likely to do something stupid. So, oh, you're done, are you, mate? What you done? Nice one. Minus 286. Going to call it a day. Yeah, sensible decision, mate. That's the sensible decision. Yeah, 16,000 hours of people listening to me. You must be crazy, you lot. We're definitely, I've said this the last couple of days, we're definitely getting more fluid movements, aren't we? As we're getting a lot less of this crap. I mean, we had a few weeks of it just constantly. There's a bit of a push up, a load more. It's definitely moving and creating opportunities. So that's a good sign. What time is it now? 10 more minutes. We'll do 10 more minutes. Our normal 3 hours. I don't think there's any trading Friday, is there? Being Good Friday. Or whether they're trading, maybe it's usually, I think sometimes they trade till 1, don't they? Which is 6 o'clock our time. Which is my normal time anyway. I'm usually done by then. But if they are trading, trouble is you just don't know whether there's going to be any volume, do you? We'll see. I'll see what the word is. Usually get a message from Apex. Find out if anyone's trading. Otherwise, I'll just take the day off. I think my wife's going away for the night with my daughter to the coast, just for a night with a friend. So I'm going to have the house to myself. So that's kind of nice. Half day, yeah. It's whether there'll be any volume. What I'll do, I'll set the stream and we'll sit on here and we'll sit here maybe for an hour and we'll see what it's like, and we can always have a little chat for a change, can't we? Half day. Days are useless in my opinion. Yeah, Good Friday is not a holiday in the US. Yeah, it's not there. I don't think it was. Don't you call it something different? I don't know. See, I've got a printout of the CME trading holiday schedule, and it's got Good Friday over the 6th, from the 6th, probably be the 7th to the 9th. So it'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, it's got Good Friday, so Juneteenth. You have that as well. I'm not sure what that is. I remember it from last year, but I can't remember what it was. Yeah, so it says Good Friday, but what do I know? How do you guys blow accounts if you risk 1%? Who says we risk 1%? Cut to 0.5%, and then 0.25%. So we get on a 50,000 account, we get a 2,500 drawdown. So 10% would be 250. 1% would be $25. So we've got to risk $6.50 on a trade. So let's say we make, a lot of us trade 1 or 2 points. So you're making about $4 a trade. So let's say you average 2 a day. That's $8 a day. 10 days, $80. 100 days, $800. So it will probably take you about a year to pass an evaluation. So like it closes Friday. Yeah, I think it's Friday afternoon, isn't it? It's usually, I think most of these holidays. Yeah. See, Jonathan, when I traded currency, they talked about 1 to 3%. It's a bit different on futures. They have a little bit more risk because the win rate is a bit higher. So I've had more experienced traders saying maybe 5%, risk 5%. But I think most people are on about blowing accounts from funding. So we're taking evaluations and blowing those. So, but yeah, if it's your own money, it'd be a bit different. But it's the fact that I think majority of people here trade with Apex and trade on their accounts. Hence, a lot more people blow because they're cheap. That's the problem. At the moment, they're charging $33 for evaluation. So if you're down $600 or $800, it's very tempting to take a risk when you know it's only going to cost you $33, and there lies the problem. But yeah, if I had $50,000 in an account, 5,500, and you risk one, then yeah, you would be okay to do that. But technically, we only have a $2,500 drawdown, so it's like trading with $2,500 in your bank. It's not a lot of money, see, and that's why people tend to risk more, because they are doing it on someone else's pocket. It's been quite a slow afternoon, actually. Certainly, yeah, not a huge amount of volume again, really. Sometimes I struggle to get on my screen, all of it. Yeah, there's a high. I mean, really, people who know what they're doing can get a 95% plus win rate, and I've heard win rates of 98%. So I think, see, I know a lot of other people who trade. When I was trading currency, if you maybe go on and say 60% win rate, you're going to lose a lot more. So you probably need a little bit more money in the kitty and less risk. The fund did, yeah, after risk 2%. If the account goes below, so start balance. Yeah. Yeah, you can pass them. Yeah, that's the downside too. Trading with a prop firm. When you're trading someone else's money, there's a little risk, really. I know it's only a $2,500 drawdown, but it's only really costing you $33 to trade that. And then when you sort of pass, if you pay like the one-off payment of $140, then you're trading with someone else's money. Obviously, you can. But so I think that's probably why the risk a bit more. Okay, guys, I think that's it for me today. We're stuck down the bottom here at the moment. We're about 2 minutes off 3 hours, and I tend to just go up to 3 hours now. It's enough for me. I find I get a little bit less patient then. And we're obviously right down the bottom of here, so I can't see anything happening in the next 10 or 15 minutes. So that is it for the day, guys. Don't forget that 80% is back on, and it's on, I believe, for 2 weeks. And it's 80% off evaluations, and if you don't pass it in a month, reoccurring months. So my code's there. If you choose to use it or have used it, it's much appreciated. Apart from that, if you're carrying on trading, good luck and stay safe. Have a great evening. You're welcome, DJ. Anytime, mate. You too, Accountability King. You guys have got to shorten your name. DJ's easy. Accountability King's a right mouthful. So yeah, I appreciate you guys hooking up and having a nice chat as usual, or listening to me chat as usual. We've had our nice one trade. Thank you, Angela. I will do. We've got lovely weather outside at the moment, so I might go and sit in the garden this afternoon and have myself a nice small glass of single malt. So yeah, have a great evening, guys. And I'll be back here same time tomorrow. See you, Sam. Same time tomorrow, and we'll do it all over again. So have a great evening.